Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm John.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look back at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Hey, John.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, my man.
Now I'm speaking to you as someone who's finished watching all of Under Siege now.
Yes, I've seen the whole film.
What'd you think?
There were some things that we spoke about in previous installments of this here podcast series that I pointed out, and I was like, that seems fishy, and that they then indeed paid off. Maybe not in great detail, but at least like questions were answered that I suspected some things.
Okay.
That we'll get to later on.
Sure.
But as on the whole, as a film, I can see why people loved this movie so much when it came out. Definitely.
It delivered everything you want.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah.
Babes.
And
guns.
It seemed like most of the positive, like, Ebert and others were like, yeah, I know this movie is silly. I know it. But there are great performances. And he was like, the star of the movie itself was the fact that they did it on the boat, on a boat.
Yeah.
And that it features prominently in every scene. It is a character.
The reason why so many of those Die Hard on a blank movies worked is because it's a good formula for an action movie. Like if you do it right, it's gonna be an enjoyable movie.
Yeah. And I enjoyed it.
So we're picking up
in spite of itself.
Oh, another bit of business to get to before we get down to the film.
Yes.
Is earlier on an episode we questioned what it's like. What are your hours like when you're working on a battleship? Like, are you working a 40-hour week with a couple days off?
Yeah.
Or what? And all of our Last of the Action Heroes podcast network listeners are probably familiar with Ryan, who's like the guy who assembled this. He's the Captain America.
He is our Nick Fury.
he's Nick Fury. Ryan, he's in the Canadian Navy. So we went to him for our expert opinion. We should have had him as a guest probably on this.
We should have.
But
Had we but known.
We'll get to it. We'll get to that
Let's
at some point.
Do it all over again. Start from the beginning.
But so Ryan says when you're at sea, when you're not on shore leave, basically you're working 7 days a week, 12-hour days, like 7 hours on, 7 hours off, 5 hours on, 5 hours off.
Okay.
Then do the whole damn thing over again. So that's something that I learned.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. What else are you doing?
Yeah. There's little else to do.
You're sleeping.
I'm sure they're
playing
breaks
games
in between.
There's probably a rec room and a TV room and
well, now who knows what all is on a ship now?
Yeah, probably all sorts of shit. You got your PlayStations and Xboxes probably. But yeah, so thanks for that helpful intel from Ryan.
Yeah,
and thanks to everyone who's out there listening. Last of the Action Heroes podcast network listeners and otherwise.
Yeah, my mom. Thanks. I'm just kidding. She doesn't listen to this.
I hope not.
She doesn't.
She'd be scandalized.
She would be.
That's funny. But I'll try to catch us up on the plot. This is episode 4 of our breakdown of Under Siege.
Yeah, what the hell's happened in this movie so far anyway?
So the USS Missouri is on its last voyage. It's going to be decommissioned. We had some terrorists take control of the boat, led by former CIA agent Stranix, Bill Stranix. That's Tommy Lee Jones. On the boat, we've got Commander Krill, played by Gary Busey. Still a stupid name. Sergeant Shrimp. He is in league with the bad guys. He's helped them take over the ship. He killed the captain in a fit of just unhinged, the captain doesn't like me.
Yeah.
And I don't think he gives me
so
enough respect.
Weird.
Remember how obsessed he was with
rage.
I'm going to kill him, then I got to get into that safe because I want to see what he's writing about me in his captain's log or whatever.
He is self-obsessed.
Yeah. And
narcissistic personality disorder.
Also on the boat, well, basically the bad guys have taken almost the whole crew and locked them up in the forecastle.
Right.
But they missed Chief Ryback. He's the ship's cook, played by Steven Seagal. He's gotten loose. He's running amok. We come to find out he's a Navy SEAL.
Holy shit.
We did find that out already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish he was there now.
I don't see a top hand on the teams. We'll leave the light on for you. Top hand on the teams. God bless Dale Dye.
Hell
but
yeah.
So
American treasure.
Ryback's running wild on the boat. He's killed a couple of guys. He has gotten. He's freed a stripper who was there for the captain's birthday party.
She's also
like
a playmate.
a playmate and an actress. She was in a Hunter episode.
She's in, man, do you remember we talked about this? Like Hunter comes on.
Who
and
was that
immediately-
actor? I can't remember.
I can't remember. No one knows his name.
He had bit parts on Cheers. He was like an old baseball buddy of Sam Malone's on like
Yeah.
a handful of episodes of Cheers. But yeah, I remember Hunter well. There was a whole, you had like Renegade.
That's when it was
and
time
A-Team,
That's when it was time to start doing my housework.
Knight Rider. You had all those syndicated action series that you
Yeah.
don't really get that very much anymore.
No.
But yeah, so basically what's going on is Ryback has made contact now with the Navy brass who's back on shore.
Mhm.
I guess he's about to fill them in on what's going on this boat.
Yeah. So lead admiral guy tells everyone to shut the fuck up and listen as they patch Ryback through. Ryback tells them that there are about 30 bad guys on the boat, and they're like, okay, just hold on a moment, stand by. So while Ryback's on hold, Breaker, who is this shady fucking CIA guy who we know
Yeah.
had dealings with Stranix and who we know doesn't know that there is a nuclear sub, in fact, like en route.
Right.
He's like, there's no way there could be a sub. And then lo and behold, there is a sub. He's completely incompetent. And there's some shady shit going on with this guy that isn't really ever addressed in this movie. But anyway, he hits the mute button and asks how can we trust this Ryback? Maybe he's working for Stranix and these guys. And Dale Dye nearly comes across the table. Hey, I'll guarantee Chief Ryback, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. I loved that delivery. I love Dale Dye in general.
Yeah.
We talked about this. He's just such an authentic
Yeah, you're right.
dude.
He's a good guy.
He's a
Dale,
good guy.
Dale Dye will fuck you up. Son.
don't you disparage
No.
Chief Ryback.
So then the White House guy, he pipes up and says that they shouldn't take the chance and they shouldn't tell Ryback they're planning to assault and or destroy the ship. So Dale Dye,
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that, but there's like a SEAL team being
en route.
en route to be inserted to retake the ship.
And if the SEAL team operation doesn't go as planned, they're going to scuttle the boat.
blow it out of the water.
Yeah. So Dale Dye jumps back on the horn. Ryback's like, hey, it's good to hear from you, sir. Dale tells Ryback that they only want Ryback to hang back and continue updating them. Don't do anything else. Ryback says Stranix may be crazy, but he's a professional, that the bad guys are building a railing system to get the nuclear missiles off the boat, and that, oh, by the way, Krill is in on it.
Yeah.
Lots of concerned looks at this tidbit. No one can believe it.
I thought it was a missing bit of action that he did not tell them that the captain's been killed.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was just got chopped out or how that seemed like one of the first things that he would tell them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is the captain's dead, Krill's taking control, whatever.
Right.
But anyway.
So, yeah, that's a great point. Dale Dye says that means the bad guys are in control of the entire ship. The Admiral tells Ryback to coordinate all his efforts with them to keep a low profile and just wait on the cavalry to get there.
Which they just said, don't tell him about the strike team
Yeah,
coming
exactly.
in. He's like, just sit back and wait for the strike team.
Oh, shit.
Oops.
So Ryback says he understands and that he'd better get off the horn before they're found out. The Admiral says to contact them in half an hour. And I'm like, well, how does he know he's going to be able to contact anyone? It's like, that seems like a tall order. Make sure you call me back in 30 minutes. He doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't even know if he's going to be alive in 30 minutes. Anyway, so while all this conversation's happening, Breaker makes an aggressive phone call.
To
but
who
to
do you
who?
reckon?
We just don't know.
Yeah.
So as Ryback hangs up and starts to pack up his comms gear, Jordan says, "You're not a cook." He responds while chambering around, "Well, yeah, I also cook," which was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, this is one movie where I've seen Seagal and I'm like, it kind of works. What he's doing in this movie works. It works for his persona.
Yeah, I also cook.
I also cook.
Yeah, so back in the Situation Room, the Navy officer lady briefs everyone on Ryback. He had an extremely distinguished career until the aforementioned mission in Panama that went awry. Poor intelligence led to most of his SEAL team getting killed. There's a shot back to Breaker here, so one assumes he's partially to blame for whatever went down there.
He's wringing his hands and looking guilty.
He's like, oh. So Dale Dye breaks in and says that Ryback's a warrior, the best there is. And then when he got back from Panama, he beat the shit out of his CO, which makes it sound like maybe he's not the best there is.
I don't know.
So he's insubordinate.
But that backstory apparently is based on a real life botched mission.
Okay.
Where SEAL Team 4 was running some mission in Panama in 1989. They went sideways and 4 SEALs got killed and 9 others got wounded. So I'm like, oh, this again, like as a movie, they're trying to base it in
fact,
real world facts. Yeah.
So Dale Dye tells us that the recently departed Captain Adams, so he knows that Captain's dead.
Yeah, that
somehow.
must have been chopped. Maybe that was just a cut line.
Either that or I was blackout drunk earlier and don't remember.
No, I swear he didn't. But he was having. Ryback was mid-conversation with someone else before they patched him through, so maybe he had already relayed that information before.
Had they not been on the phone with Stranix earlier, though? Did Stranix say we killed the captain?
Not that I remember.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Now they're
I was so drunk,
yeah, exactly.
I honestly don't remember.
So, yeah, they said that the captain took Ryback under his wing, brought him on board the Missouri as his personal cook so that he could help the poor bastard get his pension.
Yeah, so there's the explanation of the loyalty that Ryback has to the captain,
right?
Basically, which is the captain, I guess, knew this Ryback. He's a warrior.
He's a warrior. Best there is. So
you've got a friend in the diamond business.
No, you've got a friend. Hi, I'm Tom Shane.
This is Tom Bodette from Motel 6.
We bring the finest sapphires from the best blood mines in Africa.
Every year, we take a trip to Antwerp.
And hand select the finest diamonds covered in orphan blood. So anyway, the White House guy wants everyone to hold it just one goddamn second and asks, what if Swyback or whatever the hell his name is right and the missiles are offloaded before the SEAL team gets there? Breaker pipes up and says, there's no fucking way for Stranix to get past us. Every ship and sub at sea is being tracked from Pearl Harbor, which we know for fact is not correct. So that's called
true.
dramatic irony.
They don't know that the sub is out there, right? Yeah.
So White House guy says, what if Honolulu is the bad guy's next target? Huh? Tell me that.
Good point.
So
does Breaker ever get tired of being wrong?
No, he relishes it. Well, he's a true government employee. Nothing he says is true, and it doesn't matter. He's like, well, fuck, I don't care. I'm gonna serve my 2 years or whatever and get my pension and for the rest of my life. So come back over to the Missouri. The bad guys are still busy welding and will be for the rest of the movie. We get a pan up, and I love this shot. We get this awesome pan up, and they've apparently already got some missiles moved up. We see Stranix and Krill dicking around with some kind of control panel that the missiles are housed in or
I
on.
loved that.
Funny bit where Krill's like, ta-da, and Stranix like, whoa, you know what those little red lights are for? And Krill's like, I've been trained.
I have been trained. I could watch those two do scenes all day long. Like they're loving working with each other. I think, whoa, what are all those little red lights for? I have been trained.
So out of the gloom skulk Jordan and Ryback. She spots a helicopter and asks if Ryback can fly it. He says he can, of course. So she's like, good, let's go. But he's like, no, and hands her a gun. He tells her that when the red dot's on the target, then what you see is what you get, which isn't great writing. She says again that she doesn't like guns. And he says, I know, neither do I, which is
decent.
Great.
Yeah.
That is good writing. And then he tells her to hide. So he starts creeping across the deck, avoiding searchlights. As he runs, he picks up some unidentifiable little canister, so we assume it's flammable or explosive.
It was like paint thinner.
Yeah, so we see in a second that it is in fact flammable.
It wouldn't be a proper battleship if there weren't just a few cans of paint thinner lying around on the deck.
So over with the bad guys, we get more shots of missiles, and Stranix says that these things are going to sell like hotcakes.
Yeah.
You want money? What kind of terrorists are you? So Stranix asks what Krill's going to do with his $200 million cut. Krill says, I'm going to buy the presidency. Stranix just nods like this is a completely reasonable thing that Krill has said.
Another great Busey delivery. I wonder what the total haul is going to be if Krill's cut is $200 million.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
But also, like, you would like to think that the presidency can't be bought, but I don't know that that's true.
No, we know for a fact it's not. Meanwhile, we see Ryback has made it over to the helicopter with his canister, which then we see is paint thinner in big, bold letters.
Yeah.
He pokes a hole in it and douses some, then rigs a live grenade under the can. He makes a move but gets spotted from above by lookouts. They immediately open fire, never mind that there are nuclear weapons and other hazards on the deck.
Get him!
So more bad guys start to move in. We also see that the paint thinner can has leaked an impossible amount of fluid.
The 1 gallon can.
It is
leaked 10 gallons.
It's like, it's a miracle. It is a Christmas miracle. Ryback tosses his gun, grabs a rope, does his best John McClane over the side as the chopper explodes spectacularly behind him.
Do you think that was a model shot?
I feel like it had to have been.
I can't see them letting you do an explosion that big on the deck of a real ship.
Yeah, on the Alabama. I doubt it. I feel like that shot in particular had to have been a model shot.
It was a good model shot, though.
It was great. Yeah, so bad
Why
guys
did he toss his gun aside?
I don't know. I don't.
Because I feel like it was on a strap, like it was slung on him. Anyway.
So yeah, bad guys go flying. Ryback's holding on for dear life. Cool, like his body slams into the hull of the ship.
Yeah.
Pretty hard. Cool shot of the burning fuselage of the helicopter, or like part of it at least, tumbling over the side.
Yeah, it was an amazing shot.
Cool shot. Couple of quick, I watched that and I was like, that looks good.
It must have been a large scale model, you know?
A couple of quick cuts show Krill and Stranix running to see what happened, and of Jordan crying. Why is she crying? She's always crying. Cut back to Ryback, who swung over, grabbed onto a ladder, starts climbing back on toward the deck. We see some bad guys checking out what's left of the helicopter debris. One of the guys finds Jordan hiding.
Well, the dudes are looking everywhere except over the side.
Right. So he tells her to come out. Ryback crawls up just in time to see some goons taking Jordan away. There are 2 dragging her and 2 like running point out in front. Ryback takes cover to assess the situation, pops out, and I stopped this over and over to see exactly how all of this was accomplished. But he grabs the frontmost guy, pulls him in front of him like a human shield, kicks the other guy running point in the back of the head, knocking him down, then turns sideways, opening himself up to gunfire.
Yeah.
And takes out the other 2 guys that are holding Jordan.
It was cat-like.
Then shoots the kicked guy who's still lying on the ground, and then whips the human shield guy up towards him and shoots him twice in the chest. And
it was a pretty sweet sequence.
Yeah, it's lightning fast.
It's the fastest I think I've ever seen Seagal move, really.
Yeah. So he runs super awkwardly over to Jordan, who, I can't believe what you did. He grabs her and runs towards a door with more bad guys in pursuit. Inside, he closes the hatch, rigs a grenade to it, and then tells Jordan that they gotta move.
He's got an endless supply of grenades.
Just tons. His pockets are deeper. As the first guy reaches the door, Stranix and Krill run from the level up. Stranix is like, do not pursue that man.
He's at least he's the smart one, Stranix.
Of course, he's too late because a guy turns the wheel on the door and shit explodes. This guy is a pain in the ass.
That was another great. This guy's a pain in the ass. It blew the hatch right off the hinges.
Yeah.
Like that was a wild explosion.
Yeah, I love how human Tommy Lee sounds. Like he says it like he's not miffed, but just more surprised that Ryback's causing as much trouble as he is.
Yeah.
Which sort of this attitude toward Ryback plays out more and more. That you could tell the bad guys kind of like this guy.
Yeah, they can appreciate an efficient killer.
Yeah, the carnage is to be commended. So Krill says, I know just how to deal with Ryback. Everyone turns and looks with interest.
Why is anyone still listening to Krill
I don't know.
I feel
but
like
every time something happened, Krill's like, I got this. I can handle this.
I know just what to do.
Cut to the bad guy command center where Krill is using a big ass knife as a pointer. He said
that was so weird. He's waving that thing around.
He says a line. He says, "This insanity is so logical." And I'm like, are we talking about Ryback's insanity or your own insanity?
I don't know. I think, I dug the line, though. It's just such a weird, Busey thing to say.
Anyway, he says that there's a fire sprinkler system in the compartment where the captive seamen are. That's the forecastle, if you're nasty.
Yeah.
All they have to do is hit a button and the forecastle will start to flood. All the seamen will drown and Ryback will die trying to save them.
He's very proud of the idea.
Yeah. Krill then punches some buttons on the control panel. He didn't wait for anyone to say, yeah, that's good. He's just like, do it. So he begins to flood the forecastle. Stranix says, you're a maniac. Drowning your own crew, like just pointing at him.
And it was like great subtle work from Tommy Lee Jones with his eyes, like he's doing things with his eyebrows.
Yeah. You're a maniac. Drowning your own crew. Krill responds, well, they never liked me anyway. Krill's got a massive chip on his shoulder.
And then Cole Meany's like, I bet they fucking love you now.
Yeah, that's
just great line.
And then they all share a sadistic giggle together. And this is how insane men who lust for power talk. I don't care if COVID's spiking in cities or poor neighborhoods. Those people didn't vote for me. Or I don't care if California is burning. Those people didn't vote for me. So while bebopping around below, Ryback, upon seeing the weld job, tells Jordan that they're going to use this makeshift rail system to get the missiles off the Missouri and onto another vessel. Just then they hear a tapping noise.
Had that been made obvious by this point?
Not to him, I don't think.
Well, he told the guys on the radio just a minute ago that that's what was happening. Or no, he maybe didn't know how they were going to do it.
Right.
No, I think he did.
No, he
tell
did.
him.
He told them
they were
verbatim.
assembling a railing system. But was it obvious to a viewer what they were building here? Or
the competition is double elimination, Kevin. It's like, I'm going to say it multiple times.
We never got to see this in use, though.
Yeah,
I wanted to
that's
see
true.
how it worked.
We needed all the welding shots to make sense.
This movie is like a puzzle where there's a few pieces missing, I feel like.
Yeah. We don't ever see the system being used.
And there's a lot of stuff where, like, the crane's not built yet. Cut
and
to,
it was
they're loading missiles onto the...
They were in a
it's
big
weird.
hurry at the end of this movie where it was like, there's no time to fix that.
Let's just keep it moving.
But I've got time. I can fix this.
Yeah.
Anytime Krill says I can fix this, it's going to be an instant thing. The man's a genius. So just then they hear a tapping noise. Jordan asks what it is, and Ryback says, it's Morse code. So she asks what it's saying, and Ryback says, they're saying, get me the fuck out of here. So
that's more decent work from Seagal there.
He grabs some discarded welding equipment and gets his blowtorch on.
What? Again, thank God there was a random blowtorch
That's what I'm saying.
there.
Like, for all the trouble that the bad guys went through, they've got some guys on their crew that are just, and maybe it's because Seagal keeps killing guys. And
yeah, that's true.
So,
it's happened a few times. There's just been exactly what he needs is just lying there.
Yeah.
It's like a video game.
Perfect. So Ken from Street Fighter, Raymond Cruz, and
Tuco.
Some other
Tuco to you.
Tuco, yeah. Kid from Street Fighter, Tuco, and some other captive seamen hear the blowtorch through the hatch, and they're like, get back. So Ryback puts on his eye protection, sets about unsealing the hatch. Meanwhile, Jordan suffers irreparable eye damage by staring directly at the blowtorch forever. All the seamen are shocked that it's Casey Ryback kicking the door down.
He kicked the door off the fucking hinges.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's even humanly possible.
So Ryback tells Tuco, Ryback and Tuco confirm to each other that they're okay.
That was a weird little moment. Yeah,
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay.
That was there was something going on. Like Tuco was in shock or something. He was doing a decent job of acting, I think, in this movie.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you okay? Like, is he like
okay? Everyone, we're all okay.
A tender moment.
You guys gonna hug or what? So the guys tell Ryback that the six of them got trapped when shit was going down with the bad guys. One of them is one of the old timers who served on the Missouri in World War II as a gunner's mate.
It's a hodgepodge of dudes they got in there. You would think it'd be all guys who were like in the same sort of unit or department.
But we got dudes from the kitchen, we got a mechanic, we got a World War II veteran.
And the guy from the laundry.
Yeah. So Ryback introduces Jordan to everyone.
Oh, wait, did you recognize the, there was another familiar face in there, the officer named Granger, like the white dude?
Yeah, the sort of heavier set guy.
Yeah,
he's
maybe
in
a little
tons
older.
of shit.
I looked that dude up. He's Troy Evans. He's like, he's got like 200 career credits, but he was in 129 episodes of ER as like a police officer. And I'm like, damn, that must be where I know him from because I watched that religiously. But he was in Teen Wolf. He was in Cheers.
I remember he was in, it just seemed like a bit role in every 80s or 90s movie. And he has a very distinct sounding voice, kind of, everything sounds like this.
Another Chicago actor, I think.
Really?
I think the director was a Chicago guy, and he cast a bunch of the guys from the Chicago acting scene.
I like that.
But yeah, dude was in Cuffs, Men at Work, Demolition Man, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah. He was on the police force.
He's
right?
also, I think, a real life veteran. And there was a bit of trivia on IMDb that basically said like Seagal had tried to show him up or bully him on set.
He was
and
not.
The dude
he was
like,
not in the police.
Was
he,
like
he
he
worked for the Dolphins.
He was a coach
he worked for the
or something?
Dolphins organization.
His name was Pedactor. That's all I know.
Roger Pedactor.
Roger. But he tried to like Seagal tried to bully him on set or something, and the dude basically he was a real life vet. This dude, and he's basically told him like cut. He cut the scene himself and said like, "You talk to me like that again, I'll beat your ass." To
Probably
Seagal.
could have too.
I don't doubt it. I don't trust Seagal as a martial artist.
No. As we'll talk more about, Steven Seagal is a snake oil salesman. So anyway, Ryback introduces Jordan to everyone, and Ken from Street Fighter is Mooney from seeing her. It's like, hey, it's good to see you. Oh, you too, Case. So Ryback hands out a bunch of guns, tells one of the guys to grab his toolbox, and says that they are all of them about to jump into a shitstorm. So we cut to the bad guy command center.
Wait. I feel like Ryback's the expert here, right?
Mhm.
But I wonder if it's realistic that he's now like ordering officers around, like guys who would outrank him.
Right.
You know, I don't know if they know his background and like know he's the guy best equipped. Like this dude used to be
That's
a SEAL.
Good question. I wonder if his reputation is known to like his men in the galley.
You would think he's like a legendary dude. It seems like, although Krill didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
So-
Krill is self-obsessed. Krill
That's
doesn't know
true.
anything about anything but himself.
I think the military politics in the movie up to this point have been so realistic that like you can give them now a little leeway and be like, yeah, I guess they just follow Ryback's lead, even though these dudes outrank him.
Sure. Well, he's the only one that knows what's going on at this point.
Yeah.
So, cut to the bad guy command center. The consoles and radar and everything flicker for a moment, which alarms the nerd guy Pitt, the bad guy.
I like you
nerd.
calling him Weasel.
Yeah, Weasel. But he assumes it must have just been a power surge.
Dude, has these guys never seen movies before?
No.
Must be
just
everything
power
seems
surge.
fine now.
So down below, we see that Ryback and his mechanic buddy are fucking around with the ship's wiring. Ryback says that whatever they just done, quote, ought to disable the weapon systems within a half hour.
Oh, I do want to take a moment also to recognize Weasel's right-hand man, the Asian actor.
Yes.
Another very familiar face.
Mhm.
Name is George Chung. He has like 200 credits also. Most notably, he was like the featured Vietnamese bad guy in Rambo 2.
Okay.
Like the dude running the POW camp or whatever. The
Okay,
dude who
yeah,
got
yeah,
blown
yeah.
up by the exploding arrow.
Yep.
So if you recognize him,
I
that's
did
where
recognize
from.
him, and
Yeah.
like with the small amount of screen time, especially when the thing flickers and he just kind of like motions like I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Like it gives great face at that moment.
Oh, he also was Chang Sing number 6 in Big Trouble in Little China.
I recognize him for Big
Yeah,
Trouble in Little China.
absolutely. I feel like every Asian actor working though was in
Yeah.
that movie.
So Ryback, says that whatever we've just done ought to disable the weapon systems within a half an hour. And I'm
Wait,
like,
is that how that shit works?
why would it be on a delay?
A delayed reaction?
What?
Why not knock them offline now?
I don't know. I guess because we want them to go offline as the strike team's coming in.
But he does. Yeah, I feel like they could have done this. You know, they could have had him tell him on the radio, "Those guys will be here in
If
an
you
hour."
can fuck around with
or
those
whatever.
wires, you could probably just like take them offline for good.
Yeah, they could have probably gone somewhere and just disable, like cripple the
He
ship.
probably could have scuttled the boat.
Yeah.
Truth be told, would have killed a lot of soldiers though. So probably didn't do that. So just then, Krill, calling himself Captain, this is Captain Krill, comes across the PA addressing Ryback. I love that the bad guys love the promotion joke.
It's a weird. Yeah.
This is Captain Krill,
Isn't it weird that he called him Mr. Ryback?
Mr. Ryback.
Not either Chief or just Ryback.
Right? I don't know. Diminutive, I guess, not calling him
Mr.
by his
Ryback.
rank.
Yeah.
Krill tells Ryback to check out one of the ship's monitors wherever you are because we've prepared a special show for you. So the feed switches to live footage, like handy cam footage.
Which
of-
what? They still had the same closed circuit shit they had from when Miss July arrived.
There was no like wire attached to that camera.
No.
Where's the satellite for that camera?
There was
feed?
no like. I mean, I work in the industry, and like back in that day, you would have like a massive pack with an antenna on it
Yeah.
if it was a wireless.
Nobody
thing
had
was-
anything of the kind, or
this-
a van.
It was your basic camcorder from Circuit City that he had that it was patched through live.
Yeah. So the feed switches to this live footage.
Also,
this
good thing some of the terrorists knew how to work that equipment.
Yeah, well, they're all multifaceted, complicated
They
men,
all work in
multiple
the
interests.
entertainment
well, you have to remember,
industry.
some of those guys are excellent musicians. So those guys are bitchin' singers and drummers. So yeah, the footage shows the forecastle filling with water and the seamen are all screaming. And we also see a bad guy just gun down one of the guys who's trying to climb out up the ladder. Krill says, "I want you to know there are no hard feelings. I have no grudge against you or the rest of the crew. You did your best." Stranix and the other baddies are loving this display.
Are they just amused like at how shitty Krill is?
Yeah.
Like as a human being?
Yeah.
Like,
They're all
damn,
crazy.
This guy's off his fucking
He is
nut.
cold-blooded. So Ryback says they've got to rescue the men, but then the dude, the veteran actor, is like, "Well, this is definitely a trap, though. Like
Yeah, you know this is a trap."
Like, you know this." And Ryback says, but we have the advantage because they're not expecting all of us. They're only expecting me.
Mhm.
So Ken from Street Fighter does not make a good impression in front of Jordan when he starts protesting. All of what? I do laundry. I was ironing during the Gulf War. I ain't cut out for this hero bullshit. You're in the Navy, remember? It's not a job. It's an adventure. So to hell with that, man. I'm on a college program.
That was, of course, the Navy's like recruiting
Yeah. It's not a job.
slogan
It's an
back then or
adventure.
whatever. I know nothing about Navy basic training, so I did some little Googling
Yeah.
to tell me, like, because who knows, do those dudes even do firearms training? Like in Navy basic training, who knows? You probably are never going to have to handle a gun in your Navy career. You know what I mean? But it does seem like they do a firearms training.
Yeah, I would
And
assume so.
Just to handle
In case
a
they're
rifle
boarded
and a
by
pistol,
a
probably.
hostile vessel or something.
I also realized I should have done that Googling probably on incognito mode, because now I'm just going to get like nothing but recruiting ads for the Navy.
Or the
Like,
FBI has got to be on you. Now. It's like, oh, fuck. So everyone else brought their testicles. They start divvying up guns. Ken says I'm going to stay and watch Miss July. But she's like, fuck that. I want to go too. So he's like, fuck it. But also, please show me how this gun works.
How does it work? The student has become the teacher
That's
now.
right.
She like locks and loads.
I know how to do this. When the red dot's on, what is it? We'll see what we see.
What you see is what you get.
What the fuck does that mean? So anyway, Ryback says he needs the lights in the main corridors out. So Flicker, his mechanic buddy, says, no problem, and that the emergency lights will kick on soon. So we cut to the corridor, like outside the forecastle, which is, of course, crowded with gunmen. Mechanic cuts the lights, which surprises all the bad guys. Then from above, Tuco opens a hatch, drops a makeshift bomb on the guys. They all hit the deck as it goes off. A gun battle ensues.
Too bad they didn't have anyone covering their blind spot.
Yeah, like, why is no one watching that fucking manhole? And again,
That's
it's like
just-
because
that's
Ryback
it.
has killed so many people.
They could have come from up there as well. Yeah, it was just an odd choice.
I read that this movie, and we can talk about it later, but I read this movie had a hundred body count.
Yeah.
And I feel like there aren't 100 characters in this movie. But I guess between some of the sailors and between
We haven't got to the
bad
helicopter being
guys,
shot down yet, but
that's
I don't know
true.
if
The
they're
helicopter
counting.
being
Well, there
shot
was
down?
20 guys there.
that makes sense. They probably were. That makes sense.
And then who all was on the submarine
Yeah.
later?
All right, then I can buy that. 100 people is a safe guesstimate.
Yeah.
So Ryback lays down cover fire so the mechanic can move up and close a valve that cuts the water flooding into the forecastle.
That was a tremendously easily solved problem.
Right.
Was
Oh,
it?
that's the valve?
We're
Cool.
done.
Cool. Could not the bad guys in the command center just reflick the switch?
Unfurl that. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe now it is like disabled, but they
Yeah.
could turn the valve.
Yeah, I don't know. So one of the good guys gets tagged. Ken pulls him back. Up on deck, we hear that the bad guys are planning to start offloading within the hour. Just then, Stranix is informed that Ryback has freed some guys and that they went to the forecastle, but that they're currently pinned down.
Are they though? Couldn't they just go back the way they came?
Yeah, probably. So I do love the very cool pan and zoom up to Stranix and Krill like standing on that
Yeah.
beam. That's a badass shot.
There was a lot of great angles and moves and stuff
Yeah.
in this movie.
Stranix tells his goons to keep Ryback contained and tells Krill, hey, good job, your plan worked. So he also orders that the anchor be dropped, footage of an enormous chain.
Dude, wasn't that insane?
Yeah,
Imagine how heavy that shit is.
I can't even. I guarantee that I couldn't move, if that, like just a link of that chain, I
No.
probably couldn't move with my, like, push it.
200 pounds probably.
Yeah.
Imagine if you touched that when it was like moving so fast, dropping anchor, just like rip your arm
Yeah,
off.
right the fuck off. So down below, Ryback and company are indeed pulled down, pinned down, but a call starts to come through on Ryback's comm gear just at that
I
moment.
felt like somehow they had a lot more guns than they had a minute ago. Like everyone's got a machine gun now.
Yeah.
And I feel like a second ago there
Just
was
some
two guns.
handguns?
There was two machine guns between them. Yeah.
So Jordan puts the headset on and answers, hello? The military folk hear her voice and machine gun fire in the background. The Admiral's like, who the hell is this? Jordan responds, who the hell is this?
It was a nice moment for
Yeah.
Erica.
Yeah. The Admiral identifies himself and says he's trying. Can you put Captain Ryback on the phone?
Is he
Chief Ryback
about?
on the phone? Is he about?
Is Chief? I'm trying to reach Chief Ryback. Is he about?
So Jordan says Ryback's busy in a gunfight and that she'll have to take a message. White House guy yells and asks, like, what the fuck is going on? But she says, all right, fuck, hold on. So she hooks Ryback's headset on so he can talk. Ryback's like, yes, sir. Admiral's, this is Admiral Bates. I see you completely disobeyed my orders. Ryback apologizes and says that you can court-martial me if I live.
You can court-martial me if I live, sir. It was a decent also delivery.
Yeah, so Admiral says to listen carefully and tells Ryback that SEAL Team 5 is inbound and that if they should fail in the assault, that the ship's going to be destroyed. Then the Admiral, in a badass move, says, "Since your ass is on the line, sailor, I authorize you to do whatever you can to aid in the arrival of the SEAL team, because if I goddamn can't control you, I might as well support you, right?"
That's affirmative, sir.
Yeah, that's the right on, my man. So the Admiral hangs up. They got a lot of trouble on that ship.
That was another great line. Great
I wonder
delivery.
if it was like improvised.
Oh, they got a lot of trouble
They
on
got
that
a lot
ship.
of trouble on that
He
ship.
was enjoying, like the Admiral, I think, was into it. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's fucking their shit up.
Yeah. So having had enough of sitting around, Ryback grabs two machine guns.
Yeah.
I think it's all their machine guns, but it's not, because I
It's
feel like there are
like-
more machine guns.
It's like Call of Duty or something where there's just guns lying around that you can pick
He's like,
up.
here I go. His guys line up
pulled
to
a
lay down
Leroy
suppressing
Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. His guys line up to lay down suppressing fire. Ryback crosses his arms.
I loved that move. I
You love
remember
when
that.
people like this happens in a lot of
It's-
movies.
you couldn't shoot like that. You got to
So-
cross them.
He runs right down the middle of the hallway, killing anyone and everyone he sees, regardless of whether or not it's plausible gunplay. Jordan herself, having had enough of hanging back, says, "Screw this," goes to follow him. Ken's like, "Where you going?"
And then someone else yelled, like to him, "What'd you say to her?"
that
He's
that shit was
harassing.
funny.
Try harassing
What'd
her.
you say to her, man?
What'd you say to her?
That's so funny. So Ryback's like, "What are you doing?" And she says, "The safest place to be on this ship is right behind you." I love the kid's like, "Miss July, come back here."
Miss July.
He doesn't know her name. And so there's this long moment where the camera hugs Ryback and Jordan, swings up a stairwell, back down to Ryback and Jordan, then back up, and finally one rando runs out and Ryback kills him.
And
That shit lasted forever.
Yeah, I know, because I watched it 10 times because that kill was 100% a different angle of a kill they had showed earlier with a guy getting shot on the stairs and falling down. Like, it was definitely the same kill, same guy used twice.
That was so dumb. So he and Jordan climb the stairs. He spots yet another bad guy coming through the hatch into the central corridor area. He spots a cruel-looking piece of weirdly cut I-beam hanging from a rope directly above this guy, and he just like pulls the knot loose, and the bar falls and like gruesome impale, like, and then like goes through the floor.
Fucking brutal.
Like, I mean, talking about a piece of steel beam as big as the guy that went just like right through him.
Dude, yeah, that's insane.
That effect was pretty cool. So he and Jordan continue to ascend, stopping again at the door to give another goon time to run up so that Ryback can punch him and fling him over the rail.
In a 1 in a million shot, he gets like tangled in the ropes and
he's
it's just
like
hanging there.
Didn't die, just hanging. So cut to some room where a bunch of guys are using standard shop equipment to cut steel beams.
Of course.
It appears that Ryback, knife drawn, and Jordan try to sneak past all of them, but as they get to a set of stairs, a guy's coming down with a beam and more hell breaks
He's
loose.
just carrying like a piece of I-beam that's probably 300 pounds.
Dude's
like
strong.
it was weightless.
Dude is strong. So Ryback kills 3 of them in a blinker you'll miss it speed moment. Like, he stabs one in the neck, cuts a second dude's femoral artery, and then stabs him up under his arm, like into his
That
lungs.
was a fucking sweet move, dude, up
Yeah.
under the armpit.
Then he stabs another dude in the chest. A 4th guy comes at him, and Ryback uses his
That was the
martial art.
superhuman strong
That was the big
guy.
strong guy. So yeah, he uses his unidentifiable martial art to kind of knock the guy around, and then he knocks him back into like whatever that bandsaw was, and then
Yeah,
runs his
dude.
shoulder through it.
Fucked
Which
all his shit up.
That gives me the G Willikers. I'm like, I don't like
yeah,
that at
dude,
all.
that was wild.
Cut to SEAL Team 5 is on approach in a helicopter with another chopper as gun support. Back on board Missouri, Stranks is haggling on the phone with some dude named Francois, telling him to have his money in his Swiss bank account by midnight or he gets no missiles. While Francois yells on the other line, Stranix tells Colmini to call their broker, I guess, in Chicago and tell him to dump all their stock in McGregor aircraft because the stock's going to tank when word gets out about what's happening there.
I feel like that was an Easter egg because I don't know if you remember Fugitive, like the evil pharmaceutical company was McGregor, McGregor.
Yeah.
Where like those what is it? J.J. Abrams always has Kelvin popping up in his various movies. I was like, McGregor must have meant something to the director.
Yeah,
He's
for
like,
real.
you drop the name McGregor in there somewhere.
Yeah. So Pitt, the nerdy computer guy, alerts Stranix that they've got 2 choppers inbound trying to sneak in under the radar. Stranix is unalarmed, guesses it's a strike team, and just continues to haggle with Francois. He's like, listen, mon ami, you get me into more trouble, and I'm calling Mohammed. You understand?
I love the thought that all the world's terrorists are on first name basis with each other.
Yeah.
I'm calling Muhammad.
Pitt maneuvers the ship's weapons around to shoot down the SEAL team, tells Stranix that they're locked and loaded. Stranix says, kill him. No, not you, Francois.
That was funny shit.
He also calls Cole Meany his accountant.
Here, talk to my accountant.
Is that really? I guess that's one of his jobs.
I think he's just like bullshitting.
What if it is, though? That's kind of awesome. Everyone has double duty.
I'm a math whiz.
So,
dude, Cole Meany like trying to work 2 phones with a cigarette dangling out of his mouth
so
is
funny.
comic
I wish that he also had a champagne glass.
Yeah.
So
He's still got a buzz on.
I also wish that throughout any time that they show the command center that big hunk of roast beef had been just like visible in the background somewhere.
Getting smaller each time.
Yeah. So, or the shadow was just over there like shoveling roast beef in his mouth. That's a missed opportunity. So anyway, the weapon systems go haywire due to whatever flip switching and wire cutting Ryback and the mechanic did 30 minutes ago.
This could have been done to make sense.
Yeah.
Like Ryback could have told them, we've disabled the weapon system or it's going to be offline like within half an hour, and they could have timed the assault up with that. Instead, it's just like a very, very lucky coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess 30 minutes have passed, which seems unlikely that 30 minutes have passed. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I don't
know.
So
Pitt calls Stranix over saying, we've got a big problem as all the weapon systems blink off. Stranix yells for a line to their friends in the sub.
There was a sloppy mistake where he called the sub and called him Coyote, which was not their call sign from earlier. Earlier they were Tweety Bird.
Yeah.
And Coyote was like any bad guys.
Right.
Whatever. Or good guys.
Way to go, Tommy
But
Lee.
yeah, that's
fucked it up.
I don't know how that mistake doesn't get caught.
Yeah.
Like, wait, no, that's not right. That's not right. Let's do it again. Call him Tweety Bird.
It's weird that Tommy Lee wouldn't have caught it himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe he's like, can I get one more? And they're like, we don't have time. We honestly got, Tommy Lee, you got to get off this boat in 10 minutes. All of Tommy Lee Jones' scenes were shot in 27 minutes. Man. Back on the Missouri, we see Ryback and Jordan are once again topside and can hear the choppers coming in. On the lead chopper, we hear the SEAL team is 1 minute out and that they're going in on the bow. Everyone starts to get ready to party. Just everyone getting locked and loaded. Unfortunately, a bad guy manages to blast both choppers out of the sky with a rocket launcher. So rest in peace, SEAL Team 5. Ryback and Jordan are upset.
Yeah.
I think Jordan starts crying again. Back in the military situation room, the federal people are told the entire strike team is dead.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
Yeah. Admiral says it's time for plan B, which is to sink the ship.
I feel like that is where they're at, though. Like the last resort. Like, well, all right, we're sinking it.
Yeah, we knew these were the stakes. So he's like, hey, White House guy, you want to make the call? I guess. Does he have to call the president?
Probably has to approve it. Yeah.
I guess when there are nuclear weapons involved, the president probably has to give that order.
Although it shouldn't detonate the nukes. It should just sink them. But still, I think, you're about to kill however many hundred Navy men.
Yeah.
So seamen.
That's huge.
You're about to kill a lot of seamen.
A lot of seamen are going to die. A lot of seamen wasted. So stupid. Back on the Missouri, Krill says, we need some guys to help tie the sub up alongside the ship. Cole Meany comes in and says, we need to start offloading. But Colm also tells him that the crane isn't finished and that they've got more problems below deck. So as Colm, Stranix, and others go to investigate, Krill makes the order that 4 men stop welding and tie up the sub. So again, it's just like we're repurposing our resources. Guys have to stop what they're doing, which I guess sort of makes sense.
Drop that blowtorch.
Yeah, put your blowtorch down. Tie the sub off.
Turn the machines back on.
Fuck him. So below deck, Stranix, Shadow, and Colm survey Ryback's handiwork. Bodies strewn about, dudes impaled, dude hanging from the ceiling. Stranix sees the vest and says, my goodness, and then chastises Cole Meany for not hiring Ryback.
Why didn't you hire this person?
I don't know.
Fucking great delivery,
I don't know what his price would have been, but it would have been worth it.
It's amazing.
So elsewhere, Ryback is doing handicrafts with munitions, seems to be taking apart a munition shell of some kind.
I have no clue where they're supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's a very private workspace they've found here.
Back at his bunk.
This is some time-consuming shit they're doing.
There's no time for this. So anyway, we get a series of cuts between the bad guys and whatever the fuck Ryback and Jordan just watching him do. So the sub is now alongside the ship. Ryback drills into the munition shell, sets it aside in some hot water or something,
Yeah.
then starts fucking around with a grenade.
I assume he's turning something solid into liquid, like melting
guess.
something
I don't-
inside the
it
thing.
would not have occurred to me that that's what he's doing until he dumped it out in a bowl. But anyway,
In a Tupperware.
we see some bad guys lifting a missile up. So I
Wait,
guess the
so
crane is working.
The crane's built now.
Krill
I guess
fixed
some
it.
time has passed.
They had enough time for Ryback to make whatever this bomb is.
Yeah.
So it could have been 45 minutes have
It's
passed.
true. 4 hours later.
Yeah, so they've got the crane working, maneuvering a missile over the side. Ryback puts a condom around a hose or something,
the
tapes
fuck
that up
did
with
that condom come
electrical
from?
tape. It's his. He got it from Jordan. I don't know.
I don't know.
then he dumps whatever the liquid is that he was boiling in the shell casing into a Tupperware food container and then stuffs that in a messenger bag or a knapsack. Meanwhile, the bad guys lower a missile down to the sub where the French guys are securing them in, I guess, the torpedo hatch. And then
Yeah.
not a lot for Jordan to do, but like watch all this. She's learning how to make bombs. This
Yeah,
is
I
school.
guess so, sure.
School for Jordan. However many minutes later, we see Ryback in a full wetsuit and with whatever that bag was, climb over the side of the ship and down the
Where
anchor
did he
chain.
get all that gear?
I don't know.
The double XL wetsuit that he was wearing or whatever.
it
the
fits
husky.
him perfectly.
Yeah,
Um,
he's not your average sized man.
No. He swims over to the parked sub with pistol drawn. Is
Of
that gun
course.
going to work?
I don't know.
Is that gun going to work? I don't know. So Cole Meany is the only one paying any attention because he runs down the gangplank and we hear him yell that someone's in the water.
It's good
How'd he
looking-
see?
That was good looking out for a drunk man.
Yeah, he's wasted full of roast beef. He's not on his game right now. So the old captain of the sub draws a weapon and starts to shoot at Ryback. Other sub crew members do the same. Ryback kills one of the sub crew, then disappears underwater. So the bad guys pull out some grappling hooks
Oh,
that
hell
they
yes.
had with them on the top of the sub
They had those shits ready instantaneously.
and start whipping them into the water trying to snag Ryback.
I was thinking, what the hell? How do they even have? Maybe that's what you use to toss it up on the railing of the ship to.
Look out.
Like,
yeah, it
heads
makes
up.
sense.
Maybe you got to latch onto the ship.
I don't know.
But anyway,
yeah,
but yeah,
so-
those were the industrial strength grappling hooks.
They're like four prongs on those guys. So one of the guys pulls his hook up and there's some fabric hanging from it, and they're all like super fucking ecstatic. Like, we got it!
we got him, celebrate.
So then we see Ryback popped up. His back is bloody and ripped up, and he tosses his homemade bomb into some crevice
yeah.
on something. I couldn't tell what it was in the light of the shot. Also, I don't know what sub anatomy is until later. But Cole Meany yells down for the sub crew to stop jerking off with the grappling hooks and check the hull because maybe Ryback. It's always like, check for a bomb. Everyone's always like,
Yes.
check for a bomb. Back in the water, we see Ryback scooting quick as he can away before the bomb does indeed explode.
Yeah. Cole Meany, man, shit faced as he is, has impeccable instincts.
Yeah. Well, he's an accountant. They pay attention to the details. He's detail oriented.
Absolutely.
That's the first line of his CV. I'm a detail oriented go getter.
A wide assortment of turtlenecks.
Yeah, he always looks smart.
Yes, dapper.
And anyway, what happens when that bomb explodes? No one knows.
Man, I'm digging it. This was an action-packed
It
segment.
really, really was. So
you were
much happened.
complaining earlier, not complaining, but observing that just there hadn't been a lot of carnage
The-
and death yet.
The first full 25 minutes of the movie were slow as piss, but this made up for all of that.
Yeah, dude, it's popping off
It's like,
aboard
whoa,
the
whoa.
USS Missouri.
That's right. I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't watch the rest of it.
Yeah,
Just
I hope
kidding.
you did.
I lied.
I lied.
I lied. I
All
let him
right.
go. If you guys want to know what happens in the last exciting, in not the penultimate, but the ultimate
The
episode
ultimate chapter.
of our series of Under Siege, you're just going to have to check in with us next week.
We'll be back.